Alright guys, welcome to the Italian Job from 1969, finally. So the theme for this movie is way better, well the intro theme, than the remake from 2003. This time sang by Matt Monroe, who also sang the Commercial with Love theme song from 1963. Theme is very nice as we see this red Ferrari being driven. I think it's a Ferrari, and the rest of the soundtrack composed by the famous Quincy Jones. So far we see this Beckerman driving around in this red car played by Rossano Brazzi, an Italian actor, and finally directed by Peter Collinson. So Beckerman gets blown up after driving through this tunnel, and here we meet the cock blocker of this movie, Altabani, played by Ralph Vallone, as this bulldozer pushes down Beckerman and his red car down the hill. And now a token of condolences, fake condolences, push this reef down. And the next scene we finally meet Charlie Croker, the original, played by Michael Caine. Yeah, it's hard to believe Alfred Pennyworth once used to be young. So being released from prison now, Charlie Croker is headed out and says goodbye to his inmates, including Mr. Bridger, played by Noel Coward, way before the John Bridger from the 2003 remake.
They say he's going to do a job in Italy.
Well, I hope he likes spaghetti.
Funny, Mr. Bridger. So Charlie Croker now has to do a job in Italy. And now he's being picked up from prison, being picked up by Lorna, played by Margaret Bly, who was like the Stella Bridger of this movie. And now Charlie questions her why she didn't come to see him in prison.
The shirt maker.
This car belongs to the Pakistani ambassador.
Pakistani ambassador, huh? And also this.
Charlie, I just wanted you to come out in style, baby.
I think it's symbolism for his later movie in the 2010s, Going in Style with Morgan Freeman. Maybe sometime watch it. Okay, next scene, Charlie's at the tailor getting some suits, as well as a bunch of shirts, and comes out tailored in a 3-button suit, my favorite kind of suit. And now he gets his own custom car, a lot like the Aston Martin car from James Bond, but Michael Caine would have been, a terrible James Bond. Let's live in reality here. So Charlie notices something is wrong with the car and does this.
How are you doing?
I can see what's wrong. It's very, very small.
Looks like he dropped something inside the engine air from before, and now Charlie has to pay £200, and we ended off here. So now he drives off as he's at this hotel and sees the same receptionist from a James Bond movie from the 70s at a hotel in that one of those movies, and she gives Charlie Croker this note. Says, Beckerman, room 1666, tonight. But as we know, Beckerman is dead after seeing that intro scene. But Charlie doesn't know that yet. It looks like Charlie is in room 1666, and we see this.
Very nice.
Now what would you like?
Everything.
Too much? Way too much?
I mean, what guy would say no to any of them? It looks like he is tired, and that was in room 1666, stated by Beckerman on the note, and walks into room 1666, only see Mrs. Beckerman with the gun, and Charlie thinks that the Italian job is not happening since she said Mr. Beckerman is now dead. Okay, so he was part of the job that Charlie has to do soon. Now shows him these papers, and of course...
But, that still gives us 4 hours to kill.
You still in your widow's weeds.
Okay, next scene, Charlie's suddenly on a truck looking at a film reel, which is of a message pre-recorded for Charlie of Beckerman, or Roger Beckerman as his full name. So Beckerman mentions that Charlie will be stealing $4 million of gold, and it will occur in Turin, Italy soon, and tells him about the armored Fiat, an Italian car, for those of you who don't know. Beckerman also mentions that the process of how to steal the money is through a traffic jam, since every week there is a convoy full of $4 million worth of gold each time, and we'll have it delivered to the Swiss Alps snow area as the endpoint, and that's it. Sounds simple, but it isn't.
I want to see Bridger. Mr. Bridger to you.
Okay, next scene, we are in a meeting as Freddy, played by Tony Beckley, is called up by Charlie Croker about the Italian job, which will take place soon.
You wouldn't even know how to spell big. B-I-G. Big.
So he hangs up the phone, I guess, talking code, and back to the meeting as Charlie now gets ready for something, as we see Mr. Bridger back at the prison with the officers taking him back to his cell, or the bathroom. I think Bridger's like the prison warden of this prison facility. So while Bridger is actually ready to use the toilet, only to see that Charlie Croker is inside the stall telling him about the big job of stealing $4 million worth of gold.
He's all right.
Great cover up there. So Bridger leaves, and now Charlie thinks about having this plan to Americans. So now Bridger's back, looks free to see the governor here about his stall being broken into by someone else we know is Charlie Croker, and makes up this excuse. And now he's walking. I think Bridger's like the prison warden, like I said, or something, as he tells servant here about the job Charlie told him about.
I've never seen him before in my life.
So he is involved with Charlie Croker, okay, and now sits down and relaxes. Now Lorna is driving back to where Charlie is currently at, which is with the group of girls from before, and Lorna goes to do this.
Charlie's been caught on the job.
Now she's crying and trying to hit him that he never asked her where she went. I mean, sure, yeah. Now this door is being knocked down, and these three, one of them being Freddy, and are here to beat up Charlie Croker, sent by Mr. Bridger. Or someone else. Maybe Altabani, I don't know. Okay, next scene we see Freddy again, as he's here now to see Mr. Bridger, to tell him that he doesn't have to worry about Charlie Croker, and that he is interested in stealing the $4 million with him, and that Bridger needs a computer expert to cause his traffic jam for them to steal $4 million worth of gold. So Charlie and Freddy go to this computer expert's house to know where they can find him, and are now talking to the computer expert's sister, Miss Peach.
Oh, well, something quite obscene with Annette.
So Charlie asks where exactly is Professor Peach, which is the name of the computer expert. So Professor Peach is like the Lyle from the 2003 remake. Miss Peach tells the two that Professor Peach was caught doing something obscene with an Annette, and now we meet Annette.
This is Annette.
Looks like Annette is the maid here, and I'm not going to say anything else. You can tell by the looks on their faces. So we finally meet Professor Peach, played by Benny Hill. Yeah, so far his Italian job is so goofy so far. And I'm usually the one that finds remakes of original movies terrible, or not as exciting. So far Charlie's telling Peach here that they have a job for him to do. Now Charlie tells Peach to look out the window. So Peach is in for the job. So now they're here for the $4 million getaway, as Charlie now introduces the team to each other, including the three drivers for the job. For the three Mini Coopers, and just like in the remake, just like Jason Statham, who was a getaway driver from the remake. And now on to the bus coach driver, who is also filling in for Jason Statham in this original made movie. And now on to the computer nerd, Professor Peach, the Lyle of this movie. And now introduces the rest of the team: Arthur, Frank, Roger, Coco, Yellow, and of course, who could forget Freddy. So now we meet another Roger, Dave, and Lorna, who will be waiting in their own fast cars if anything goes wrong. And now on to Charlie Croker and Lorna visiting the mechanic garage, where the Mini Coopers will be used to carry the merchandise, or the gold, as their escape cars. Just like in the 2003 remake, but with the 2000s Mini Cooper models. The same in this movie, we see the same kind of Mini Cooper model that Mr. Bean drives in the cartoon and the TV show, and this original version of the Italian Job. If you've seen Mr. Bean, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And the same way of making additional space in the Mini Coopers, and just like in the remake, they carry heavier stuff. Now back with Freddy talking to Mr. Bridger if Charlie needs anything else, and just like the remake, testing the Mini Coopers right before the job. So back with Mr. Bridger and Freddy talking about testing the Mini Coopers and back on the testing grounds.
Go. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
So back in the prison hall theater, as with the same Mr. Bridger fancy music playing. As with the same Mr. Bridger fancy music playing. The tune playing is called Rule Britannia, if you didn't know.
How's your new house, Fred?
Very nice, Mr. Bridger, thank you. Very nice.
Bridger definitely paid for his house. So it looks like he's gonna watch the heist live. No, I'm just kidding. He's actually watching a recording and of someone talking to the camera where exactly this Italian job will be taking place soon, which is in Turin. Same thing is happening to Charlie Croker as he has a blueprint out telling his team what to do next by telling it themselves, pointing it out. On the blueprint, funny how Bridger, the proprietor of the prison where Charlie Croker was doing times involved in this job. Okay, that's funny. So Bridger has the recording pause only to see that same guy on the screen that we saw in the very beginning, Altabani, who we have not seen at all yet, involved in any sort of way so far, except blowing up Roger Beckerman, who was driving the red car.
Kids, I think we'd better arrange a funeral.
So Bridger is still watching the recording now, and we see this guy saying good luck. I don't know who that is, but we do see Altabani, and he was there spying on this guy, giving further instructions for the Italian job. Speaking of the funeral, we see Charlie Croker again walking around wearing funeral clothes, as he's now at a funeral with Mr. Bridger also there now. So it looks like Beckerman's funeral. I don't know how they retrieve his dead body. As Mr. Bridger tells Charlie to watch out for the mafia. As we know, as a viewer, the guy from the footage is Altabani that Bridger is watching, and Altabani is associated with the Italian mafia in this movie. So now you know who and why Beckerman was killed in the beginning. So a closer look at the coffin as Bridger spots the Mini Cooper, drivers for the job, and now on to Bridger's speech. And back to work as Charlie Croker points the bus coach that is needed for the job. So it's the daytime as everyone is now together for the $4 million job as everyone heads to Turin in their positions as a rehearsal, while Professor Peach is picking flowers, maybe for Annette. So now that Charlie and Lorna are driving their own cars, same colors as the Mini Coopers from the remake, as they finally bump into the Italian mafia here on the hill, and they finally meet Altabani, played by Ralph Vallone. And now he tells the story of how an accident occurred on the very road where all of them are standing on right now. So he does this.
6 weeks ago, a friend of yours met with an accident on this very road.
So Altabani's guy ruins Charlie's getaway car since he knows they are the very ones stealing the $4 million worth of gold tomorrow. And yes, he admits that they did kill Beckerman on this same road, and that Mr. Bridger thinks he can do this from a prison cell. And now Altabani destroys Charlie Croker's signature car and pushes down the hill as Charlie can't do anything since the mafia is armed and are ready to shoot. Just as Altabani is about to leave, Charlie Croker tells him whoever gets in his way will not live, and whatever comes in his way during the heist will be killed. So Altabani leaves as he's back celebrating with his cousin from America and is worried about Charlie Croker's threat. And now that it's nighttime, Charlie's riding his bike in the dark outside this power plant, and the Italian job team is there to destroy it. And Altabani now knows Charlie did kill the power in his area as the team is now inside with this funny music playing. But they're really there so that Professor Peach can adjust the setting for the traffic jam that will be staged for the job soon. As Charlie notices all these police cars storm into the power plant, and now the power is back on. So now we are at the airport as we see that the van with $4 million worth of gold will be safely moved into Turin, as Charlie and Lorna are faking to be a couple here, or maybe it's real that she will be traveling.
Why, Charlie? Why?
Because you're a liability.
So now the gold is being dropped now here as Charlie says bye to Lorna since she has to be in Geneva. All part of the plan as Altabani is back watching the gold being dropped off. So Charlie Croker is back as he talks to his team and tells them to wipe off any fingerprints. Now some questions and they're out.
Yes, Charlie. Yes, Charlie. Yes, Charlie. Yes, Charlie. Yes, Charlie.
Charlie goes back out and sees that all the vehicles involved are leaving. And Professor Peach is ready to get to Terran 2. So the same Italian fat woman is being arrested along with Professor Peach. I think it's all part of the plan. And now everyone is arguing with each other just before the job. And now one of the guys managed to overhear the Italian mafia's conversation with Altabani, or the guys at the airport unloading gold at the security van. Now the security van is on its way to Turin as the guys for the Italian job are dressed in blue uniforms, ready to go, while Altabani is watching the van drive off. Charlie pays the guy sweeping and now they are all ready to go. Altabani and his crew are following the security van and its escort. Okay, so Altabani and his crew are following the security van and its escort to Turin, and the traffic control are just seen working, and now this guy who was working with Charlie Croker is distracting the public by inserting these beeping devices in the trash bins. To shut off the traffic cameras that know the 60s was that advanced in Italy. So the Italian traffic control are worried why the traffic camera monitors are being turned off instantly. And as the back at the power plant where the traffic jam will kick in soon. So the security van with the $4 million worth of gold is almost there as the staged traffic jam has started.
The devil is happening. It's another traffic jam. It gets worse every time.
And Altabani notices that the traffic jam has started and have lost the van. So I'm guessing the Italian mafia have been asked to escort this government thing, or maybe Altabani's not part of the mafia. I don't know. He looks more of a cop to me. So the plan is working and the traffic jam is successful as Charlie Croker drives the escape SUV through these little openings and onto the road where the traffic jam is, as with the van with the gold. So these guys notice the traffic jam looks crazy, now get uncomfortable again, and now the traffic is moving again, almost there as Freddy is in the pink suit, giving signals of putting on their helmets, and now finally for the swipe. And now for the Mini Coopers are ready to go too, and now bring in the security van inside here to transfer all the gold in 3 Mr. Bean cars. At this point, I guess you can say that Altabani is like Steve from the 2003 remake. That's something that I've seen so far. And now that the Italian police are now unconscious again after being hit on their heads by Charlie Croker's team. And they push back the Italian community as they try to open up the city hall kind of building since the security van is trapped in there. So the Italian police and the army, or just the police, are trying to ram the city hall door open using this car transporting truck and dropping some of the cars on the back. So Charlie Croker tells him to hurry up. So Mini Coopers drive off and the rest escape using the van, and to see the police have broken in to see that the security van is empty and now back to reality.
Oh, look at me, you stupid bastards!
So the Mini Coopers drive out just like the 2003, just like in the 2003 remake. Just like in the same train station in LA. Very American, that remake. This one's like more British, mixed with Italian. Okay, so the Mini Coopers escape as well as van. So while the Italian police have managed to follow them, and also this.
I could eat a horse.
So the Italian traffic control is back online with their camera monitors up, and now continue to follow the 3 Mini Coopers, and they made it to the top of the airport building to trap the cop car. And back down to the road riding behind each other, as it's going to be like this up until the end of the movie, since we have like 20 minutes left. Yeah, this version of the Italian job is extremely simple to understand, nothing hard. Pretty straight to the point. Nothing. It's kind of goofy so far, this movie. And now for some comedy as they make it to this Mini Cooper only dealership. A greater way of fitting in, so the traffic jam is still up, running as the Italian traffic control is still figuring it out. What causes traffic jam as the police are now speaking Italian, why this is. Why this traffic jam even happened in the first place. And now back to the chase as the cops still after 3 Mini Coopers, once again leaving the cops stumped. Now Altobani is sure that this was a big operation made by Charlie Croker and his team, and tells his guys to get to the airports of who boarded the plane as well as who boarded the train to look at all the passengers' names. So back with the Mini Cooper chase as traffic control is still figuring out what's wrong, leaving another cop car stumped as the Mini Coopers are now being driven onto the water and now into the sewer with this funny music playing. And they have made it to their getaway bus as the driver is there watching, and with one cop car has managed to locate them. And now back at the prison, some good news for Mr. Bridger.
They've done it, Mr. Bridger. All I meant to yell for you, sir. They've done it.
Now everyone at the prison is cheering for Mr. Bridger. That's strange, a corrupt prison warden, or I don't know what he is. He probably is a prison warden, or maybe the prison operator. I don't know what he does. I've never seen this guy in prison clothes so far. Okay, so now the Mini Cooper is now being accelerated inside this van, or the coach bus with this Self-Preservation Society theme playing. There's now 9 minutes left of the movie, as all 3 Mini Coopers have made it inside with this blue Mini Cooper struggling to get in, and now unloading the gold as the police, watching from this bridge, see that the van with the remaining guys is driving off, and Mr. Bridger, the John Bridger of this movie, enjoys his victory dinner as celebration that the Italian job is complete. So back on the same road where Beckerman was killed by Altobani, the Mini Coopers are being pushed down the hill to be destroyed since they are evidence pieces. And this driver saying "Ready, Charlie" with the replying now is just too funny. I'm gonna play these clips.
Now!
Ready, Charlie?
Now!
Ready?
Now!
And now back to picking up the rest of the team in the same hippie getaway van, and now everyone is celebrating that it's done, and again with the Self-Preservation Society song playing. And this bus driver is just too excited. So the driver screwed up, leaving the escape bus in a sensitive spot. Dumbass. And now it looks like there is no happy ending with only 5 minutes left of the movie. So Charlie tells the guys to get to the front of the bus so that they don't tip over and fall over, as the gold is too heavy.
Hang on a minute, lads. I've got a great idea.
The only solution is for Charlie to crawl there and to get the gold piece, to get the gold one by one, but it doesn't work. So, and we leave it off here with the Italian Job from 1969. It's an okay movie. It looks super outdated. I'm gonna go with the remake from 2003. This one is just too old and goofy for me, even though it's like what a kind of known movie. The remake with Mark Wahlberg is better, I must admit. I mean, what I like about this original, I definitely do like the intro song performed by Matt Monroe, "On Days Like These." So it's a good song. I like it. It's an okay movie, a simple heist movie or a getaway movie. A lot of you will find this movie extremely boring. That's okay. Some things are just outdated and are meant to be that way. Usually the original movie is better than its remake, but this time it isn't. That's just how it is. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time in the next episode. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share the video. I suggest you watch both. Watch the original and then the next one, or if you've seen the new one from 2003. Take care. See you soon. Watch away, and see you guys in the next set of episodes. Society.